Hello everyone. Today I've decided I'm going to talk to you about specifically the Python decorators that are used in Odoo. I'll do separate videos for the different kind of decorators that you're going to meet when you're developing with Odoo. So first one I'm going to start with is the @api.depends, which is often used to decorate the compute methods. So let me show you how I've set it up already. So for the sake of this test, I've added quite a few fields on my model just to show you how it works. So for these, I've added, for instance, the line count, which is computed by this method. That's how you write it in the field definition. And also the amounts, which are all these, well, these three, and they're all using the same compute method as well. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is just computing the amount of line IDs on this model. So the way you write it down is you write @api.depends and then the name of the field that would trigger this method. So in this case, I've added line IDs, which means that when I'm in my view, you have the line count here. It's showing 1 right now, but if I add another one, oh yeah, and I need to launch my Odoo instance, of course. But now, so right, if I add another line now, you see it right away. It updated to 2, and the subtotal updated as well. So just for the sake of the exercise, I've added some logs so you can see that it was triggered as soon as I added a new element in my lines. And same goes for the amount. So because of the depends, I've told him to watch for the subtotal field on line IDs, but also tax percent and discount percent. So that means that every time any of these changes from for a different value, it's just going to trigger the compute and recalculate everything. So the key with this is obviously to pick the right fields and really think through the work logic of your problem, just to make sure that you're attaching the right fields to the method, but that's really convenient to use. Yeah, you don't always have to add this decorator for computed methods. For instance, if you want to remove it on, let's say the compute line count, this will only get triggered either when the cache is invalidated or when the entry is created. So let me show you again without the decorator. Another interesting thing to know about this is that you can, if you want to just remove the API depends, it's going to work as well. It's just not gonna trigger specifically when this field changes. So for instance, this would mean that for some computed fields it's going to get triggered on the create of a new entry, for instance. But yeah, it's much safer to use it with the decorator, but can be done without it as well if you want in some specific cases. And another thing that you do have to know about it is that if you have a computed method on the field and you don't store it, this means it's going to be recalculated, recomputed every time you access this record. And so that can be pretty heavy for some DBs, so sometimes it's probably safer to just compute it and save it. And this means that it's only updating when you're touching to any of the fields that are in the depends. And that's where it's interesting to play with the decorator or without it if you're storing it, and that's going to change the behavior of it. So for instance, right now when I make the changes, you're going to see the print in my console because I've added the logs, and I'm triggering it every time I update the fields that are in the depends. But as soon as I just store those fields, so for instance the line count, let's add the store equal true. Yep. If I relaunch and we look specifically for the line one,